I wasn't always the health practitioner. I wasn't always an iridologist, a naturopath, a herbalist. I was once really sick. In fact, when I was pregnant with my third child, I was really sick, and it literally felt like someone was stabbing me. And I remember going to the doctors and trying to find out what was going on, but they couldn't figure out what was going on. They couldn't do all the tests that they had to do because there was a baby involved, there was a fetus involved. And they just said, look, it might be just pregnancy pains. I knew it wasn't pregnancy pains because I've had 2 other pregnancies. I've had 2 other children, and I never had felt this kind of discomfort. It wasn't until after I finally gave birth that the doctors were able to do all the other tests that they wanted to do, and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So they found out that I had ulceration in my bowels. So for those of you that don't know that, it literally means that in the bowel, in my gut, I had wounds. There were wounds in my gut, and every time food would pass through, the wounds would open up and it would get worse. Whenever it would open up, there would be bleeding inside my gut. And that was why it felt like I was being stabbed. So the doctor said, look, there's no choice. The only option here now is for you to go on steroids. I didn't want to go on steroids. I wanted to be able to finally just take care of my child. And if I went on steroids, I wasn't willing to be breastfeeding my child and passing on steroids into my baby. I remember the doctor saying, look, it doesn't matter. It hasn't been proven. It doesn't mean that because you're going to be on steroids, your baby's health is going to be compromised. And I remember saying to him, can you actually give me 100% guarantee on that? Can you actually honestly tell me that my baby's going to be okay and she's not going to get the steroids? And he goes, well, there's really no guarantee. I go, exactly. I said, there's no guarantee. I want to give my baby everything. So I said, look, are you willing to give me at least 6 months? Just give me a chance to breastfeed my child for 6 months. At the same time, look for another alternative. Luckily, he said yes. And so in the next 6 months, I became the expert in Crohn's. I read everything on Crohn's. I read studies, I read experiences, I read blogs, I read emails, reports. I went to herbalists, iridologists, naturopaths. I took supplements, I took herbs. I did what you call an elimination diet. I checked my food intolerances, and I changed my diet so much. The last thing on the set of research that I did and the set of implementations that I did was to do what we call an elemental diet. An elemental diet is literally just a liquid diet, but it had to be highly nourishing for my body so I didn't lose weight, so I could rebuild my system and be filled by the nutrients that my body needed. I did that for 6 weeks initially, then extended it to 12 weeks. So I remember sitting down in a Thanksgiving dinner with my shake. It wasn't even a nice milkshake. It was a shake and a Jell-O so that I could just be a part of the festivities. Can you imagine doing that? And I remember all my friends saying, oh my God, Michelle, what are you doing? How can you do that? How can you have all that and not the meals? Oh, poor you. And I said, you know what? I actually don't feel like I'm deprived. I said, if you just know how much better I feel because of this liquid diet, you know, if you just can imagine that I'm not feeling any stabbing pains, which I used to feel all the time. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm happy. I'm happy I'm able to join you guys. I'm happy I'm sitting down here. Anyway, long story short, I went to my doctor. He checked me out, did the tests necessary to see where I was at and what damage I've done to myself in the last, 6 to 8 months. And he said, I can't believe you're in remission. What did you do? And I told him what I did. He stood up, got a book from his shelf, and he said, I can't believe you did that. I said, why? He said, because it's here. And he opened this journal. It was a medical journal. He said, it's actually here. It says that an elemental diet could actually put kids with Crohn's disease in remission. And I couldn't understand. I was really confused. And I said, so why did you offer that to me? Why didn't you give me that option? And he said, because no one ever does it. No one ever completes it. And I thought, oh my God, here I was struggling to find a solution because I really didn't want to go on steroids. If he just gave me that option, it would have saved me all the trouble. Anyway, that actually gave me my silver lining. That gave me like the reason why this whole horrible thing happened to me. Because you see, every time we go through challenges, every time we go through situations in our lives that's so difficult, we only go through it because it will give us something much better. It will equip us with something much better for the future. And that actually gave me my aha moment. I realized, you know what? I can help people. I can actually learn more about this, start getting into it. I learned herbalism. I learned iridology, naturopathy. I became a wellness practitioner. And I, in the last 18 years, have been able to help people change their lives because of what I went through. Because of what I went through, I'm now able to actually give people options. I now am able to show people that, you know what, your body's amazing. It can actually rebuild itself. There's no one solution. There's no like, this is the only solution type of thing. Given the right tools, your body can build itself up. Every single cell in your body can rebuild itself. So let me give you 3 things today to do. Whether you've got any of those gut issues, or you've got an autoimmune disease, or a chronic disease that you can't get rid of, or if you want to get off your meds, there are 3 simple steps. One is start breathing fresh air. Depending on where you live, you might not have access to really good quality air to breathe. Your lungs are very important. Oxygen is something your body needs. Every single cell in your body needs oxygen. I live in Indonesia. I grew up in the Philippines. These places have cities that are highly polluted. Beijing has a really bad air quality. Again, different parts of the world have horrible air quality. If you live in any of those places, make sure you've got an air filter. Go back to basics. Don't feed your body, don't inhale poison. Don't feed your body poison. Second, drink good quality water. Again, depending on where you live, the quality of the water can be crap. You are more water than anything else. You're 75% water. If you don't take care of the water that comes into your body, how else are you going to rebalance your system? Your body can't do the functions that it needs to do if you don't provide it the right tools. Some people live in countries, again, like where I'm at right now. I'm not coming to you from Australia. I'm coming to you from Jakarta. And we're not allowed to drink tap water. I have a special alkaline machine called the Kangen machine. That's the only water I allow my family to drink because it gives me high oxygen, gives me clean water, it gives me high alkaline water. Why will I give myself anything less? Third, eat simple, natural, organic foods. Simple because we've all gotten used to putting all sorts of sauces in our food. We've put all sorts of additives, sugars, salts. Your food doesn't have to have all that. In fact, for your food to rebuild yourself, it has to be prepared in the simplest form. So start going back to basics. Feed yourself the simplest amount of food, the simplest kind of food, and only eat what you can truly absorb in your system. Your body can't absorb more than a fistful of meat. That's what they say. But I don't like measuring things. I always just say, just eat in moderation. Have everything if you want to, but simplify. Just have enough. 3 things, 3 simple things that can actually detoxify your system, rebuild your system, rebalance your body. And if you start with those basics, you can heal your body from anything. Your body's smart. We've been given an amazing system. I've got a program, a workshop coming up on the 18th of December. It's about 11 a.m. Jakarta time, and I think that's 3 p.m. ACT New South Wales time. I'm not quite sure what the conversion is in the US, but join me because I will give you 10 things that you can do to actually reboot, rebuild, and give you optimal health. You can change your future. You don't have to live with the diagnosis you've been given. You have been given an amazing body that can build itself. Let's allow it to rebuild itself. I'm Michelle T. Jones. I'm a naturopath, herbalist, iridologist. I'm a health and wellness practitioner, and I'm a longevity expert. Thank you.